my goodness, folks. I have some absolutely earth-shattering information about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle that has sent shockwaves through royal circles worldwide. Tom Bower, the fearless investigative author, known for exposing the monarchy's darkest secrets, has dropped what might be the most explosive royal revelation of the century, and it has Prince Harry in a state of complete panic. Now, I know you guys are excited for more. But before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on, guys. What are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, according to Bower's shocking claims, the carefully guarded mystery surrounding the Sussex children, Archie and Lilibet, may not be what the world has been told. That's right, questions about surrogacy, secrecy, and even the children's biological parentage are now flooding the media, threatening to completely destroy what little remains of Harry's already fragile reputation. This bombshell couldn't come at a worse time for the Duke of Sussex. Once hailed as Diana's brave son and the people's prince, Harry now finds himself mocked as either a complete fool who was kept in the dark about his own children's origins, or, even more devastating, a willing conspirator in what could be the greatest royal deception of the modern era. Bower's claims are simple, but absolutely devastating. He suggests that Meghan and Harry have not told the full truth about their children's origins, pointing to inconsistencies in birth records, photographs, and Meghan's carefully curated pregnancy appearances. For Harry, who has repeatedly invoked fatherhood as his saving grace since leaving royal duties, this revelation strikes at the very heart of his identity. The surrogacy question isn't entirely new. Royal watchers have whispered about it for years, but Bower reignites it with damning new details. Critics point to Meghan's oddly staged baby bump appearances, inconsistencies in her timelines, and the palace's suspicious refusal to provide clarity about either birth. If Meghan did use surrogates, as these rumors suggest, the question becomes, why lie about it? And if the truth was deliberately concealed, was Harry complicit in the deception, or simply blindsided by his wife? Either scenario makes him look weak, foolish, or deliberately deceptive. Perhaps the most humiliating suggestion in Bower's revelations is that outside donors or third parties may have played a role in Archie and Lilibet's conception. This explosive claim shatters the Sussex fairy tale narrative and raises devastating questions about the children's standing in the royal line of succession. For Harry, it's an absolute nightmare. The man who once defined himself as a proud father now faces whispers that his own children may not even be biologically his. This scandal lands at the worst possible time for Harry. Already mocked as whipped, branded as Meghan's puppet, and alienated from his family, he now risks becoming the subject of even deeper ridicule. If Bower's revelations prove true, Harry isn't just a wayward prince. He's a man who has completely lost control of his own narrative, his own family, and possibly even his own children's truth. Critics argue that Meghan is the architect of all this secrecy. From the unusual handling of Archie's birth announcement to the vague statements around Lilibet's arrival, Meghan has controlled the narrative with an iron grip, shielding the children from scrutiny while basking in the PR benefits of motherhood. The irony is absolutely brutal. Meghan built her brand on demanding transparency from the royal family, yet she may have concealed the greatest truth of all. And in the process, Harry looks less like an equal partner and more like an accomplice, or worse, a fool kept completely in the dark. Across Britain and beyond, the public is demanding answers. Social media threads, opinion pieces, and panel discussions are calling for DNA tests to finally settle the mystery of Archie and Lilibet. The logic is simple and devastating. If Meghan and Harry have nothing to hide, why not prove it? Every day they remain silent. The pressure builds and suspicion deepens. Royal observers can't help but notice how distant the royal family has remained from Harry's children. Unlike William and Catherine's children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, who are frequently seen with senior royals, Archie and Lilibet have rarely been photographed with any members of the monarchy. For critics, this isn't mere coincidence. It's a telling sign. The palace, they argue, may already have serious doubts about the children's place in the line of succession. By keeping their distance, the royals shield themselves from the potential fallout of revelations they may have long suspected. Reports from Montecito paint a picture of Harry absolutely unraveling in the wake of these allegations. Insiders describe him pacing frantically, ranting uncontrollably, and lashing out at staff over the headlines. He has reportedly become obsessed with tracking what the press is saying about his children, terrified that more damaging details will emerge. For a man who once championed mental health awareness, his own state of mind appears to be crumbling. Critics mockingly point out the irony: the therapy prince, unable to cope with his own truth. Meghan, in stark contrast, is reportedly far more calculating in her response. Rather than panicking, she has prepared icy legal threats against media outlets repeating Bauer's claims. But here lies her dilemma. Suing could drag the issue further into the spotlight, forcing even more evidence to be tested in open court. Meghan's cold legal strategy only makes Harry look weaker by comparison, a man spiraling emotionally while his wife plays the long game. Financial concerns may be adding to Harry's panic. Tina Brown, who was one of the last people to see Princess Diana before her death, recently dropped another bombshell, suggesting the Sussexes are actually struggling financially. She described their $14 million Montecito mansion as a humble cottage compared to their wealthy neighbors, and provocatively added, at some point it might be more than a new house she's looking for. Elon Musk is still single. That's all I have to say. Could financial pressures be part of why these surrogacy allegations are hitting Harry so hard? The timing of Bauer's revelations couldn't be more devastating for the Sussex brand. Their Netflix deal is reportedly in jeopardy. Their Spotify partnership collapsed in humiliating fashion, and Meghan's recent projects have generated lukewarm interest at best. They're desperately trying to rebuild their public image, but this scandal threatens to permanently define them. Not as modern royals breaking free from tradition, but as manipulators hiding uncomfortable truths. Together, these elements form a catastrophic picture for Harry. The man once celebrated as the brave soldier prince now appears fragile, paranoid, and completely powerless. Meghan, once hailed as a modern duchess bringing fresh air to a stuffy institution, now looks manipulative and secretive. And their children, meant to be symbols of their fairy tale life, are now at the center of scandalous speculation. The Sussex brand has somehow survived Oprah interviews, Netflix deals, and palace feuds, but this scandal cuts much deeper. It isn't about family squabbles or PR wars. It's about truth, legacy, and the very bloodline of the monarchy. If Bauer's revelations stick, Harry may never recover his credibility, and Meghan's carefully constructed image could collapse permanently. The most painful aspect of this situation is how it might affect Archie and Lilibet themselves. These innocent children didn't ask to be at the center of a global controversy about their origins. As they grow older, they'll inevitably discover these rumors and questions about their parentage, a potentially traumatic legacy of their parents' choices. As this extraordinary royal drama continues to unfold, one question remains paramount in the minds of royal watchers worldwide. Should Harry and Meghan finally agree to DNA tests for Archie and Lilibet? Tom Bauer's revelations have ignited a firestorm of speculation that silence alone cannot extinguish. The world is demanding answers, yet the Sussexes remain tight-lipped, a strategy that seems to be backfiring spectacularly. For Harry, this represents an impossible dilemma. Submit to DNA testing and potentially validate rumors that never should have gained traction, or continue refusing, allowing suspicion to grow with each passing day. Either choice carries profound consequences for his children's future and his own dwindling credibility. What's certain is that this scandal won't simply disappear. Unlike typical royal controversies that fade with the next news cycle, questions about legacy and bloodline persist for generations. The fallout from Bauer's revelations leaves the Sussexes facing their darkest hour yet. With the world demanding answers, the royals maintaining suspicious silence, and Harry reportedly panicking as truth threatens to break free. This isn't just another scandal. This could be the end of the Sussex illusion. The moment when secrecy, calculated image management, and unbridled ambition finally caught up with them. Because in the end, there's one question the world keeps asking, and it grows louder every day. If Meghan and Harry have nothing to hide about their children's origins, why don't they simply prove it? Ta-ta. And bye for now.